This is Wildy, and I'm spending 5 minutes with mayoral candidate David Kippin. I'll put the little time on. Morning, David.
Morning, Wildy.
Mayor, you want to be mayor. Why did you decide to put your hand up?
I've seen what's happened over the last few years, particularly over the last 12 months, and I'm disgusted and I'm angry, and a lot of people are angry. So you can sit at the barbecue and whinge and bitch about it, or you can put your hand up and say, well, I believe I can do something about it. So that's what I've done.
So what do you believe you can do about it?
Well, you need to restore leadership and pride to this city. We've lost the pride because of all sorts of things. There's, the city's tired. It needs a lift, and certainly there's an issue with crime. And whilst we don't have a direct input onto that, we can certainly advocate and support the state in the actions that they're doing, and get feedback from the community. What do you want to do? There's lots of suggestions, good suggestions out there. We need to field them and farm them to the state government and say, this is how we can help you to help us.
And obviously no stranger to Townsville. You've been here many years, done many jobs, one being the boss of Tell, so you know how important it is. Big projects, big business,
Yep.
hand in hand with the Townsville City Council. So do you think that will put you in good stead?
Well, I know it will. I'm very confident that my background will put me in good stead to be able to provide that sort of leadership. And, the one thing about, proposals is that you read them from the back to the front, because the front's all about the selling and the back's all about the tricky bits. So, I've reviewed thousands of them over the years. So I believe I can help councillors to make better decisions.
Speaking of the councillors, how do you think, if you are elected mayor and you walk in with the current councillors, how do you think they'll take to you as in, okay, here's the new mayor?
Well, I hope they respect the fact that I have a solid background, and that I respect that they all bring something to the table. So no matter who it is that's elected, I don't have control over that.
Yep.
I have to deal with the people that are there. But everyone's got skills to bring, and we gather those, put them into a bucket, and where I can add my background and experience and talents, we put all that in there and make the best decision possible. That's where I think I can add value.
Now, in the ballot the other day, unfortunately, you pulled out number 9. So if you're in the Melbourne Cup, wouldn't be the best number to pull out. So how do you think you'll go with number 9?
Well, it's just a number.
Yep.
And people who are watching, and I implore the voters in Townsville to think carefully about their vote.
Yep.
Look down that list, and if they want good leadership and they want pride back in the city and they want the experience that I offer, then I hope they vote one David Kippin.
Now, with the one, what people don't understand a lot is you can just actually put next to your name and then leave all the other boxes empty. Because people often go, oh yeah, but they're going to preference this person or that. That's only if you follow a how to vote card. Mm-hmm. The power is in people's hands, so it's up to them who they vote for. And I'll just be putting a 1, because to me it gets a bit messy with the whole preference thing.
Well, it does, but the democracy is wonderful, and it allows you to make that decision. And if you find it's too complicated, then just put the 1 beside the person you think will do the job. And if you want to run the preference tally, well, then you go down and pick out who's second, third, fourth, and so on. But it has been confusing, and we're asking the voters to vote in some electorates or divisions here. We'll have to vote twice.
Yep.
And depending upon who gets elected, they might have to vote a third time. So people are getting sick of voting.
So 9 mayoral candidates, that's quite a big field. With each and every candidate brings different skill set. But once again, you've had that experience, you're known in Townsville. That's got to mean something.
Well, that's what I'm putting to the
Yep.
voting public, is
Yep.
that I've got a hell of a lot of experience and love for this city. And my job at Tell was, I used to say to people, it's the best job in the world to wake up every morning and your role is to sell your own city. Yep. Who gets that privilege? I had it.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I didn't quite see the end. So I've got a lot of unfinished business that I wanted to do when I was at Tell that I hope to do as mayor.
And most important things you think that Townsville needs, sooner rather than later?
needs a steady head and a head that knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm offering.
And what about actual infrastructure and things like that? What do you think's the most important?
Well,
No, you can answer that.
water's a big one. A lot of people don't understand where the water situation is, and we need to clarify what's to be spent, what monies we have to spend on it, and where we're spending it. So I use the same philosophy as I've done in business for 40 years, and that is you gather all the information. And in the case of councils, I don't think councils seek information enough from the voters themselves, from the community themselves. So a big part of what I'll do is to set up a structure where we have input from the community as to what we're spending their money on. They're paying good money to the council to make good decisions. So let's get their ideas on issues. And water is still a huge question mark over, and it's a big issue for us, as we all know, when it comes time to in the dry season.
Absolutely. Well, mayoral candidate David Kippin, thanks for spending 5 minutes with me.
My pleasure, Wiley.